All right, everybody. Welcome to Action Plan for Your Nonprofit, and let's head right on into Lesko Help 2. I hope you are all having a wonderful day, and I am a little nervous about the step that we're taking today, but Megan, do you want to explain about that?
Yeah, is my camera not working? It's on.
Let me see. It's not. It's a black screen there.
Stop it. Get down. Sorry. She didn't like that. Okay, sucks. Well, alrighty then. Okay, so we're going to do the whole walkthrough, right? And we're gonna not do the walkthrough, but actually gonna do the do today.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna start. We're gonna do the final process of well, not the final, but the final major process of the of starting a 501c3 by going to the pay.gov and actually filling out the paperwork and paying the money and sending it off to be judged.
All right. And so do we have that in our, and I think we've already looked here and it didn't have it. So let's just go into teaching sessions and into our unit, which, yay, is fully updated finally. Action Plan for Your Nonprofit is all here. And I just need to take a moment. Let me just reorder this because I'm sure that's why everything is kind of weird. And I'll pull this one down to where it's supposed to be. Not sure why that is the way it is, but make visible. I don't need to notify. And we'll just drag this one down here because I have no idea why it is where it was. Okay, so all of our classes are finally here, guys, and in order. Everything that we've done as a step-by-step process to set up a nonprofit element of collectively rewilding my for-profit business, right? And so just as a point of clarification, for those of you considering starting a nonprofit, it is not yours. Collectively Rewilding, the for-profit business, that is mine. Collectively Rewilding, the foundation, will be something that belongs to the community. At this point, I'll be a part of it. That's not even always a guarantee or an absolute necessity, depending on how one might look at it, but it is not mine. The way Collectively Rewilding, the for-profit business, is mine. Right? Before we move on, any questions about that? It's a pretty important, relatively simple, but pretty important concept. We only have 8 of us here, guys, and 7, because one of them is Megan's note taker. So please, if you have a question about what we're doing, just let us know right when you're thinking it, when we're going through that process, right? So everybody's solid on that understanding, it sounds like. All right, so let's look at our list here and see if we have it linked. We should have it for applying for 501(c)(3) status. All right, and so we're down to like step 8, I think.
This is the applying for it with the feds, the federal government.
Again?
This is applying for it with the federal government because you apply for it with the state afterwards.
Yes, this is applying for the 501(c)(3) status from the IRS, right?
Yeah.
And then okay, and so it looks like we didn't get this particular one reorganized, right? Because
no, it's not reorganized, but it's on there.
Oh no, it is actually because it doesn't have the Google steps right here.
Okay, cool. Yep.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we are officially at step 7. All right. Step 7, register with the IRS for 501(c)(3) status, streamlined application for recognition of exemption, Form 1023-EZ. And I don't have it right here to hand anymore, but last week we covered what the application worksheet is. And you have to fill out the application worksheet before you can actually apply to the form to make sure that you qualify for the EZ, right? There's either Form 1023 or Form 1023-EZ. If you fill out the application for the application worksheet for the Form 1023-EZ, and I believe it's that you mark all of the answers no. Again, I don't just have it to hand. I should have left it up here. It might be in my filing stuff right here, actually, if we need to pull it out. But I believe it was that you had to answer no for every single question, or you had to fill out Form 1023. You could not use 1023-EZ. All right. And so we're going to click apply via pay.gov, just as Megan said there. Before you begin, about this form, eligible organizations file this form to apply for recognition of exemption from federal income tax under Section 501c3. Note, you must complete the Form 1023-EZ eligibility worksheet in the instructions for Form 1023-EZ to determine if you are eligible to file Form 1023-EZ. If you are not eligible to file Form 1023-EZ, you must file Form 1023 to obtain recognition of exemption under Section 501c3. Most of us, I believe, that would be starting a new nonprofit will generally be able to use this 1023-EZ form, but we can't speak for all of us, right? So my organization answered no to all of the questions, and so I don't know if that's passing or just being allowed to use the easier form, really, right? Okay, so here are the instructions for help in completing this application. The organization must have an employer identification number, an EIN. We did that in one of our previous classes. Do not enter a social security number on the form. This form requires entering 3-character National Taxonomy of Exempt Entities, an NTEE code that best describes your organization's activities. Again, see the instructions for Form 1023-EZ beginning on page 21 for a listing of NTEE codes. All right, and so then you might find the following additional information useful when applying for recognition of tax-exempt status under Section 501c3. Publication 557, 4220, stayexempt.irs.gov, and charities and nonprofits page on irs.gov. Do you feel that we need to do any of that right now or look at any of that, Megan?
No.
Okay. After you submit your application, for information on the status of your application, go to Where's My Application page on irs.gov. If you submitted your application before the date indicated in the chart and have not been contacted, you can call the toll-free customer account services number, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. local time at the number to check on the status. You will need the following information when calling: your name, your employment identification number or EIN, and accepted payment methods, your bank account or debit or credit card. You must be signed in to submit this form. If you don't have an existing account, you will have the option to create an account on the sign-in page. So I think that we would need then to sign in first. And I don't believe that I have an account here. So I'll need to set that up, which unfortunately means I have to stop my share, but we'll have to do that a little bit. So let me do that. And then Megan, would you like to talk about anything while I'm doing this, or do you want me to talk about what I'm doing while I'm doing it?
Sorry, I didn't realize I muted. I think that I just want to tell, yeah, go ahead and I'll talk while you do that, because I don't think that I think only one time have I ever used the actual 1023 form. I've never actually used anything other than the EZ because of the fact that if your organization's already doing the thing, you should have already had this done. So I'm not sure why, like if it's already doing the food pantry or the, if it's like whatever. But then I thought about it. There are times that churches will be doing those things and then they decide later to get a 501c3, and that's when they would be utilizing the full form. And that's what that's for. So most people will use the 1023 EZ.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is just me going in and creating an account through U.S. Department of the Treasury. I don't really like ID Me, and so I'm going to take their secondary option. And can I use my primary email here, Megan, or do I need to use something special?
No, you can use your primary email.
Okay.
You can use whatever you like, but I would just use whatever is the most familiar to you, because you don't.
Right?
Yeah. It's always when we try to make things more difficult that we end up not being able to get back in ever.
I agree. Okay, so I put my email in, and then it's going to send me an email, which it already did. You heard it ding on my phone there. Okay, and it says this email address is already associated with an account. Oh, crap. That's what I have to say about that. Okay,
Just
I'm
reset
going
your
to have to
password.
recover my account. What's that, Megan?
I was going to say just reset your password, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. And then it says follow the link. Okay. Go to login.gov and sign in. And what if I forgot my password? Okay. There we go. So there is a relatively easily found forgot password button. Now I'm hitting continue. And now I need to go back to my email. And I'm going to go and reset my password. Okay, sounds good. And I really recommend getting a system if you don't already have a system for your passwords, right? All your paperwork, any paperwork that you have. I'm pretty good about it. Go ahead, Megan.
I was gonna say, and just out of just experience and running into this problem and having set up, I've set up over 62, I believe, nonprofits. There is so many things that you need passwords for your nonprofit. Separate. Do not use the same password you use for your businesses for your nonprofit. And do not reuse anything because of it. It's so harshly looked at and so under a microscope that any misstep could really be detrimental to it, especially in its early stages. Please make sure that you're taking the security precautions you should be doing for all of your stuff. But I mean, this is because it's not just yours. It's more important that you protect it, I guess. Is what I'm trying to say.
Understood. All right, I'm just about through this part, guys. All right, now I can sign in, and then I'll see if I'm on a screen that I can share with you all. Okay. No. Okay. I can't do this, so let's go now. Okay. All right. Now you have to agree that they're going to share your email address with the U.S. Department of the Treasury. Agree and continue. All right. So at this point, I'm company account. I am acting on behalf of a company, organization, or government agency. Is that right?
No, you're not acting on behalf. You're acting on your own behalf.
Okay.
Just to make it.
All right. Then I still can't share my screen, guys. I apologize. I just have to put my basics in, but that does include my address. So and then they want you to make a security question, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to read and agree to pay.gov's rules of behavior, behave yourself, right?
Yep.
Okay, about this form. Eligible organizations file this form to apply for recognition of exemption from federal income tax under Section 501c3. Already completed all that. We've got this. Okay, so now we are going to continue to form. And let me just share my screen. I think it'll be okay to do so. And so we're going to continue to the form. 1. Yes, I have completed it. And then you have to basically walk through it again. Have your annual gross receipts exceeded $50,000 in any of the past 3 years? And or do you project that your annual gross receipts will exceed $50,000 in any of the next 3 years? I do not believe so, right? And I'm guessing, Megan, that if you're just instantly super successful, there's something you can do to correct this. Is that right?
Yep. I mean, if you so even if you do, like it's asking if you can predict that. No, I can't. I don't expect it.
All right. Do you have total assets, the fair market value of which is in excess of 250,000? No. Full name of organization. Oh, it does the capitalizing for you. Care of name. Would I put my name here?
Yes, if you want to. I did on mine.
And now this is the nonprofit's address, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so should I, yeah, I have to put the EIN and everything, so I need to stop sharing again, right?
Yep.
All right, guys, sorry about that. So now, again, all I'm going to do is grab my little book that has the address that we set up in one of our previous classes that you can now go and watch, because you don't want to use your personal address and you can't use a PO box. So Megan, I'll let you give more information there while I continue.
Right. So when you're doing your nonprofit setup, you want to make sure that you're at the address that you use on this is the same address you're wanting to use on your sam.gov applications for contracts, grants, and anything else that has to do with the government. So they do not accept and they have very rigorous testing of addresses. So they'll tell you as you're filling it out, like no go, no go. That's not an address you can use. And so you want to make sure that you are using an address that is not a PO box. It's not a virtual address. It's an actual real brick and mortar. You can go to Google Maps, look at it, and it looks like actual business, not like a mail store or a UPS store or any type of other virtual office type of setting. So, and that's for getting government grants. So you are going to need it regardless if you think you're going to or not. I can guarantee you probably will. So just if you do this now, you won't have to worry about it later is all.
So now I'm entering in the EIN, which we went through the process to get on another class, right?
Yep.
Okay, and so we said December was what you pick for your month to end the taxes on, right?
Yeah. Yep, that makes sense.
And then they want a person to contact if more information is needed. And so I'm putting my name, and then you have to put that person's phone number in. Okay, and then it is a $275 fee. All right. If anybody's trying to sell you doing this for you, it will cost more. But the IRS pay.gov form that I'm filling out is $275, right? There may be taxes or whatever. We'll find out. Megan may already know, but you're not looking at a higher cost than that. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I now have to put at least 3 trustees information in. And so I will be 1. And so as a title, oh goodness, I need to pull out my paperwork. Let me see if I have it right here. Okay, sweet. So different titles that they offer as options. Okay. So do you think I would be president or chief executive officer? Didn't you say chief executive officer allowed me to have a little bit more directional control?
You could do either or. No, this is going to be set up the way you set it up. So if you want to give the chief executive officer, that's you. More things to, you know what I'm saying? Like you write the bylaws, so you've got all the power right now.
So, and I'm still not sharing my screen. Okay. And so now I have to put my address, right?
Yep. Highbury.
Okay.
I know.
And then I have actually 6 people on the board already, but I am going to use my treasurer, who is my mother, as the second title. And then I have to go and get her address. I apologize, guys. I had thought about this and I meant to have it up, and then I completely forgot that I wanted to do that. Okay. Grab her address super really quickly. I can never remember the street address. Not like I lived there or anything. But it wasn't like my original. Oh, okay. They don't want the period there. Okay. My parents have owned multiple homes since my childhood home. So, all right. And then my third is going to be Miss Ethel Grant. And I'm going to just put her as an officer. I get to just say that, right? Officer is fine.
Yep. And this isn't set in stone. You can change this around after the fact too.
Totally. And I've already let them all know that this is more of like an honorary moment. If they would like to stay a part of it as we continue on, that's, you know, something that we can absolutely talk about at that point and see if that will work. And I would love it, but right now we're just getting it going. But I don't have a couple of their addresses, so these are the ones that I can easily grab. Okay, and I haven't built my website yet, so I don't have to put that, and I don't have an email because we're going to set that all up once I have the 501c3 status. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. And so I'm going to hit save just to make sure. And then, oh, well, then it took me out of it, just so you guys know. Continue to the form. Interesting. Okay. Continue to the form. Well, let's not do that again. Okay. I thought it would just like save it and let me click next. No, that's not how that works, but it didn't screw anything up. And now that is saved. And so I have filed articles of incorporation. So, and I believe I can just let you guys see again, at least for the moment. Oh, and was that Ken Des there at the bottom? Saying something? I thought so, yeah. Ken Des and Benny are here, and they are the two that I don't have addresses for who are part of the board. So super exciting. All right, and the date of incorporation was the 5th of September. State of incorporation or other formation. Oh, okay, I get it. Utah. Section 501c3 requires that you start or your organizing document. Wait, excuse me. Section 501c3 requires that your organizing document must limit your purposes to one or more exempt purposes within Section 501c3. Check this box to attest that your organizing document contains this limitation. I don't know what that means, Megan. So.
It means pretty much that you check this box that your organizing documents contain this limitation, that you are only you're not in profit, you're not going to make a profit, you're doing charitable work.
It says domestic nonprofit corporation.
You are domestic.
Right. I'm just saying like then I'm going to check this box.
Right. Yes. Sorry.
Okay. Section 501c3 requires that your organizing document must not expressly empower you to engage otherwise than as an insubstantial part of your activities in activities that in themselves are not in furtherance of one or more exempt purposes. Check this box to attest that your organizing document does not expressly empower you to engage otherwise than as an insubstantial part of your activities in activities that in themselves are not in furtherance of one or more exempt purposes. Say that 3 times fast. Oh my gosh. Excuse me, guys. I'm quitting smoking cigarettes, and so it's really messing with my throat a little bit. If it's not my allergies, it's something else, right? Okay, Section 501c3 requires that your organizing document must provide that upon dissolution, your remaining assets be used exclusively for Section 501c3 exempt purposes. Depending on your entity type and the state in which you are formed, this requirement may be satisfied by operation of state law. Check this box to attest that your organizing document contains the dissolution provision required under Section 501c3, or that you do not need an express dissolution provision in your organizing document because you rely on the operation of state law in the state in which you are formed for your dissolution provision. And there is not one on here, and they did not require one. I know I've read things about it, so I believe that that's because it's just required in state law. And so we're going to go ahead and hit next instead of save this time. Click, check this box. Check this box to attest. Oops. I missed that one. Okay, so check this box to attest that you have the organizing document necessary for the organizational structure indicated above. And yes, I do. And so now we should be able to hit next. Okay, part 3, your specific activities. Briefly describe the organization's mission or most significant activities. So the primary activity is to bring in sponsorships or donations to support having Collectively Rewilding as a free public agricultural education forum. Is that right?
Nope, you are providing free agricultural and education to everybody. Yeah.
Okay. The public.
There you go, public. I was like, I don't know, there's a better word for that than everybody.
And that's it? That's all I need to say?
Yeah, you can say like that's what I'm trying to pull up right now. I forgot about this part. There's what we talked about in the slides the last class is that they want you to say certain things like in this, but it doesn't want you to it doesn't want you to be very not so specific, but it's like you can't say I'm providing food to the hungry. You're providing free agricultural education to the public for what reason? To educate them on sustainable whatever, however you want to put that.
Wow. Okay, so let me just go to Gemini for this.
Well, I have the slides here. I'm pulling them up right now.
Okay, yeah, you do that, and then I'm just going to talk to Gemini about it, and then we'll have some of the words that I need to fit what you're saying to do too, right? Okay, and so let me just jump tabs here. And I actually need to be here. And should I use deep thinking for this, do you think? Reasoning,
No,
mapping,
it's not that. No, it's
no.
really.
Okay.
All right. So, okay, I'll read you what I have and then as I choke now. Okay, so the where it's talking about the question of what you want what how you should say this is that you want it to say the purpose clause that works is like to provide relief to individuals experiencing homelessness through emergency shelter, meals, and housing assistance programs, not like to help people. It's too vague. It doesn't have charitable purpose identified. So you don't want to say to support our members, businesses, interests, or anything like that. You want to say, you know, advancing education by offering free tutoring and mentorship to underserved youth. So it's who you serve, what you're doing that's charitable, and then actually the actual work. And as long as it's green, you're good to go.
Oh, really? Because it was already green when I just had what I had. I mean, like, I think it was, hold on, let me just get all of this.
Go for it. Here. Take your time.
And then let me take off back to here and put a period.
But this red right here will go away when it's happy with you. Just FYI.
Oh, this part here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up Gemini, and because I have my mission for Collectively Rewilding, but that doesn't apply, right? And so
right. No, this isn't about describing like what your nonprofit does. It's about anchoring your work to one or more specific charitable purposes, right? And we have those charitable purposes of like religion, the ones we stated at the beginning of this. My words are gone today, guys. Sorry. It's religious, charitable, scientific, testing for public safety, literacy, educational, fostering national and international amateur sports competitions, preventing cruelty to children and animals. Those are all charitable purposes. So as long as you want to tie whatever you're doing to one of those, and you did with education.
Okay. But it still wants more, right? So the nonprofit will, the nonprofit side.
And like I can give you a couple more examples of like good ones that actually worked.
Well, but they're not going to fit what I'm doing, right? And so then I'm going to be in here trying to think and trying to type what you're saying and then trying to change it. So that's why I'm just taking it to Gemini. If you want to pop one of your examples in, I can use that as an example for Gemini into the chat. Okay.
Yep, I'll put it in
there. Okay, so I am needing a mission or the most significant activities for our new Collectively Rewilding Foundation, the nonprofit side of Collectively Rewilding. This foundation will primarily allow for Collectively Rewilding, the for-profit platform business to be free to the public. Okay. Here are the instructions. Okay, and then did you pop an example in there, Megan?
Yep.
Awesome, thank you. Okay. Here is an example that was accepted by the IRS. Okay. Can you please provide a mission or most significant activities list for the new Collectively Rewilding Foundation that follows this example within 250 characters. Yes, 250 characters or less. Enter. Whew. Just formulating the question was hard enough. Okay. To advance ecological literacy by providing free educational resources, tools, and guides on rewilding, sustainable gardening, and habitat restoration for the public. I like that.
Yeah, you want to be more broad. You want to get more broad.
Okay, to promote environmental stewardship by offering free educational materials that teach sustainable. Okay, so can you
add what I added to the chat? That I put it in there for you to add to it at the bottom.
Okay. Okay. Here is some information to help you do so. Okay, and then enter. Okay, it says here are 3 broad options. 1, to support and advance charitable and educational purposes by providing free public resources. So it's really wanting that list in there to promote environmental stewardship and ecological literacy through free digital resources that further the public education on rewilding and sustainable land management. I like that. That's pretty broad.
Yep, and that one below it's also good too, I think.
Okay, to foster accessible education for the public regarding ecological practices, including rewilding and habitat restoration, thereby supporting environmental and charitable purposes. Okay, so what if we said, can you combine these two thoughts? Promote environmental stewardship and foster accessible education for the public regarding ecological practices and literacy, including rewilding, sustainable land management, and habit restoration.
I like it.
Me too. Okay. Nice. But it's not enough.
No, it's enough.
It's got this red though right here.
Yeah, just click on something else, it should go away. They click on the next box and see what happens.
Don't refer to or repeat purposes in your
Yeah, I
argument.
just give it that information right there, so they put that in there.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Copy and paste the red, and then put that into Gemini and say here.
Okay.
They never are.
All right. Megan's laughing because I said, I like that, but the IRS isn't satisfied. Here is further clarification. And then can you please reword the final selection? And then I'm going to paste the one that we chose to better suit the IRS direction. I think directive is right. Okay. Okay, so the foundation develops and maintains a free-to-access digital platform that educates the public on ecological literacy, rewilding techniques, and measurable habitat creation methods.
Yeah, I like the top one. I don't know why.
Foundation's significant activity is the development and distribution of free digital education resources for the public on ecological practices, including rewilding, sustainable gardening, and habitat restoration. This is more broad, though, right here.
I would start putting them in and see which one works in that way.
Okay. Should I add it to this or just?
Yeah, I would just restart. Yeah.
Okay.
Even though that one's really good.
Right. Nope, it doesn't like that one.
Oh my
No.
God. What the heck? Click on the see instructions part. Maybe it wants us to go to the instructions or something like to know the question we were on. I feel like it shouldn't matter, but yeah. If you delete everything, does that red stuff go away?
Mm-mm. Could I just try moving on and see if that works?
Yeah, let's try it. Yeah, because I would like to see that box empty if it goes away or not. Because if not, then maybe we should save it and then come back.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I have to remember what NTE code to see if that fixes it. I swear I wrote this down somewhere. Oh, I did, right here. Okay, so let's just try and see if placing that helps at all.
Educational.
And so we put charitable
And educators, educational.
and educational.
I would, yeah.
Okay.
Does it let you do? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, let's check all that apply.
All right. Okay, let me just read these so you guys know. Okay, so to qualify for exemption as a Section 501c3 organization, you must refrain from supporting or opposing candidates in political campaigns in any way. Ensure that your net earnings do not near. Oh, I'm not going to read all this. You guys will have to read that stuff if you're doing it. That's just going to take too long. Okay. I've read through all that on that easy worksheet, right? That's all what you're doing. If you've done your homework and you filled out your worksheet, you should already know the answers to these questions, right? When it's stuff like this. Then you have to write down things like your NTEE code and know your address and all of these things that we've walked through, okay? Do you or will you attempt to influence legislation? No. Do you or will you pay compensation to any of your officers, directors, or trustees? And then we say yes here, right?
Yep.
That's
I
in the
mean,
future.
you're eventually going to. They just want to make sure it's going to be reasonable.
And do you or will you donate funds to or pay expenses for individuals? And it's no, right?
No. Yep. No.
And then do you or will you conduct activities or provide grants or other assistance to individuals or organizations outside of the United States? No.
No.
Do you or will you engage in financial transactions, for example, loans, payments, rents, etc., with any of your officers, directors, or trustees, or any entities they own or control?
No.
Okay. Do you or will you have unrelated business gross income of 1,000 or more during a tax year? No, right? Because that's for unrelated business, right?
Right.
It's all, yeah. Okay. So no. Do you or will you operate bingo or other gaming? No. Do you or will you provide disaster relief? No. And then let's see if it took away the red.
Is it see if we can go forward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did. It let us.
Yeah.
Okay, so that red is just a part of the application form, guys. Okay, so I'm going to keep all of those different designations and put them on a paper because they're all nice pieces of wording about what I do, right? Very professionally worded types of things that are about what Collectively Rewilding does and what the Collectively Rewilding Foundation are going to do. So keep everything if you can manage a way to do that for yourself. Part 4, Foundation Classification. Part 4 is designed to classify you as an organization that is either a private foundation or a public charity. Public charity status is a more favorable tax status than private foundation status. Are you applying for recognition as a church, school, or hospital? No. If you qualify for public charity status, check the appropriate box 2A through 2C below and skip to Part 5 below. Which one did we say I should pick here? I know we talked about this.
B.
B? Okay, thank you. And we did talk about that in another class, guys. Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait. B says membership fees, and is that correct for you, or forgot?
Yes, that is possible. It hasn't started, but I would like to have dues paying members that want to go more than just into the free education part, that want to be more of a part of moving everything forward or whatever, right?
Right.
Okay. And then 3, if you are not described in items 2A through 2C, you are a private foundation. Okay. And then select this box to attest that your organizing document contains the provisions required by Section 508E, or that your organizing document does not need to include the provisions required by Section 508E because you rely on the operation of state law in your particular state to meet the requirements of Section 508E. Is that for the foundation stuff?
No, that's not even pertaining to you because it says skip to the next one.
Oh yeah, to 5. That's right, huh? Okay, I apologize, everyone. Thank you. Okay, so this is 3, but we don't want to do 3, and we don't want to do, or no, Part 5. That was 3 within Part 4. Oh my gosh, it gets so complicated, right? Okay, we don't have to reinstate after automatic revocation. And so we're not, so we just go to next, right?
Yep.
Okay, 6 is signature. I declare under the penalties of perjury that I am authorized to sign this application on behalf of the above organization and that I have examined this application and to the best of my knowledge, it is true, correct, and complete. Yes. And then I'm going to put my name. And then it already knows who I am, and I'm going to hit continue. Creepy, guys. Okay, and this is when I'll have to stop my share again.
And we're done. That's it.
Then I'm going to pay for it, right? And so I have to choose how I'm going to pay for it. I want to pay with either a bank account or a debit or credit card. Those are the choices that you have. And then I'm going to say next. The payment amount, as we have already talked about, is $275. And then I have to put in my either credit card or banking information, depending on what you chose, right?
Yep.
And that goes pretty quickly. Almost there, guys. All right. Now I'm just reviewing it, making sure that I input all my information correctly. And then you have to click a box to authorize a charge to your credit card or bank account. And then you hit submit payment. And it's processing. My payment is complete. And they want my, to fill out a survey and some different things. They give me a tracking number, payment information, account information, and this is something that you'll want to print up, all that good stuff. And that's that, guys. So now I am awaiting the IRS's decision. Megan, I think you have some information about a timeline. Is that right?
Yeah, with this, it takes about, well, okay, so we just did one for Mama Bear Alliance in our community, and she got hers back, I think, within less than 3 weeks. So
nice.
Yep.
Okay, and so, but at this point, we will have to do some different things. Yeah. So maybe we could
talk about what happens
next week's
next.
class working on the second list and just letting everybody know what comes after and just kind of get, does that sound like a good plan for next week?
Yeah.
All right. There you have it, guys. We are waiting for information from the IRS, but we will get together again next week. There are things you have to do once you've gotten through with the list that we're already working. And so that's what we'll compile so that you guys have that sneak peek of what comes next after finishing getting your 501c3 status and registering with the state, getting your Google Workspace for free, getting your email set up, your phone number set up, all of those things that come for free from Google if you go through this process, right? That's why Megan has us following it in this specific order. Okay, and then once we've completed that, we'll be working on the secondary list with you guys. And so you guys are going to get that sneak peek. We'll walk through putting that all together. And it may take us as long to get that done as it will to get back the status. So it takes a bit for Miss Megan to pull through all of the knowledge that she has and all the different places where she's got information stored to get these lists together for you guys. And so you'll get to see a little bit of what that looks like and to get to witness her vast knowledge of what she's got going on with all of this.
Thank you. That was a kind way of saying yes. They're going to see my mess.
Well, you do a lot, hon. Just
it's
as
a
you
really,
were talking
really,
about
really
there.
informative mess.
Right. And so here is the list, right? We're on step 7. We just completed that. Once we have it back, we'll move on to steps 8, 9, and 10. And that will be the completion of this set of steps that you need to go through with your nonprofit. So let's go ahead and jump into our calendar. And Miss Megan will be back with you guys this Sunday for the nonprofit call. And that will be Sunday, October 19th at 5:15 p.m. Pacific, 6:15 p.m. Mountain, 7:15 p.m. Central, and 8:15 p.m. Eastern. And she'll jump right in after that class ends at let's see, Eastern time is to 9:15 Eastern time when this is over, and then 9:30, bam, she's back with you guys for Lesko Help Presents Navigating the Nation's Grants. And I will be back with you all on Tuesday, and that will be Q&A with Sabrina Tuesday, October 21st at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 Mountain, 6:30 Central, and 7:30 Eastern. And our next class is going to be this evening with Tony, and that's Friday's Q&A Live with Tony at 6:30 p.m. tonight Pacific, 7:30 Mountain, 8:30 Central, and 9:30 Eastern. So hope to see you there, and all the other wonderful classes in between. Please feel free to unmute everyone and say good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.